About 2 o'clock, call meeting to order, pledge allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You received the minutes of the July 15th meeting. Is there any comment or motion for approval?
Thank you.
David, all yours.
All right, the first one is Eldridge Realty Company. I don't know if everybody knows where the Dock Family Dollar is in Lansford, that lot. You're coming in. And there's a garage there, here's the fire garage. And gonna subdivide, expand the lot. Combine the lot. This is the Family Dollar. Right here, and this is the garage. This is the existing lot. What they're gonna do is subdivide the Family Dollar big lot and then combine this lot with that. Let's see, I keep pointing out that Lansford Borough has a subdivision and land development ordinance, which they approved way back in 1986, but they still don't believe me. So I sent them the copy of the page of their minute book.
Boy.
And there's no minimum lot area for any lot serviced by central service public water. Setbacks are shown on the side.
They don't have a picture on, but I'm gonna have it
To
on
be revised because on the
vote when they vote.
side lot, it should be 30 feet instead of, what are they showing, 10 feet or 15 feet. Should be 15 instead of 10. And there's no issues with the zoning, so I would recommend approval.
Any discussion? The motion for approval.
I'll make the motion.
Second. In favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion approved.
She was fast.
Yeah. Next one is the Herbert K. and Linda Salzer. This is in Tolmenson Township. This is going down Summer Mountain Road. 1245, 1355, basically the same thing. They're subdividing a piece of property from here and combining.
45.
And it meets all the
Yeah,
plan requirements.
there's no engineers making a presentation.
Additional plan.
Any discussion?
They just need signatures.
Is there a motion for conditional plan approval?
No move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Conditional plan approval is granted.
All right, this next one, the Wentz private garage, we're taking these out of order. The numerical order as you can do. This is down on Main Road, 1290 Main Road. We have building outside, then they have all those buildings in the back that were just put in there with no land development plans. This one, I went outside inspected. The garage is already up.
I saw him building that.
Yep, and they stopped,
Big
they
garage, right?
stopped, yeah, 260 by 80.
Yeah.
And they stopped construction on it because they didn't put any of their soil erosion in there or their stormwater plan. Okay. The overall, yeah. Their zoning ordinance states that all these buildings should be incidental to that first one out in the front. And when again, the gate was locked, I asked these guys, can you let me in? They said, well, we don't own that, we own only this building, so they're all separate buildings and businesses. And I'm going to read your comments as I go through, if you have any questions, there's like 7 pages of this. They're describing it as an accessory building use incidental to the existing uses on the property, and the private garage or parking areas are incidentally used. And the plans that submitted, they can't get a certificate of conformance until everything has been done and all the soil erosion has been approved. The existing resource and site analysis map, they show use abilities of land development and the type of period. The preliminary impact concept analysis. Section 28B1 and 2 the edit, and the improvement plan not submitted and required on their nation to propose the swales, drainage, stormwater, and other layout of the proposed sanitary and storm sewer, certification of ownership, not certification, surveyor certification not signed. Property owners directly across Main Street not shown. Final supporting documentation, copy of latest deed of record not provided, list of any public utility, environmental, other permits required. And if none are required, a statement to that effect. They're not proposing any water or sewer of this building, so. Good question on if they have any people working up there, where they're gonna go to, to the restrooms.
That's Franklin Township, right?
Yeah. Soil erosion control plan not submitted, drainage stormwater management plan not submitted, statement indicating any or proposed zoning variances not provided. Plan for the ownership and maintenance of all improvements not provided, documentation and compliance with the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission requirements not provided, and the natural diversity index not provided. Street and right of way width for Main Street not shown. And again, this is all final plan. Property corner information not shown. And the following statement should be added to the plan. The plan has not been approved for any type of source disposal based upon the representation by a developer that the lots will be used for purposes other than dwelling, commercial establishment, or any use which generates wastewater and wastewater, period. And the other statement should be added to plan sheet 1. The approval of this plan by the Board of Supervisors of Franklin Township does not have the effect of altering, redefining, or extinguishing any of the easements of record existing on the property. Copy of the latest deed of record not provided. Again, soil erosion control plan not submitted. But the earth disturbance it's like 0.90 acres, so it's not over the 1 acre. I have reason to believe it is because of the gravel parking way, but that's up to the conservation district. They have to provide to the townships provision for succession of ownership and responsibility for the maintenance of all land development. They have to enter in a legal binding approval for all the improvements or amenities which appear in the plan. And the development agreement shall be in the form required by the township. The design calculations for the emergency spillways not provided. Stormwater, sewer and pipe covers placed a minimum depth of 1 foot. And the applicant's engineer should verify that there is sufficient cover on the roof leaders at the highest point of the system, on the pipelines and design slopes. Again, soil erosion control plan. Excuse me. Each parking entrance and exit shall be clearly defined with curbing, fencing, landscaping, or vegetative screening to prevent access to the area from other than the defined entrance. And portions as required or proposed parking areas shall be surfaced with a minimum of 2.5 inches of asphalt paving. I'm talking too much. They need a landscaping plan. I didn't do a review of the stormwater management plan. I left that up to the engineer and conservation district. Plan sheet 2. Site contact map, I think it is. There is. Encroachment. On the adjoining property, parking. Jeffrey Weinneck, this encroachment is not shown, the land development plans must be addressed. Existing resource plan has a label for a non-existing building. It's needed legend for sheet 3 to describe the various types of line and standard symbols. Details for outlet structures and anti-seep colors shown in the plan sheet should be more clearly identified. It's just something really small you can't read. And the plan note should be added to private garage is only intended to store vehicles and will not be used for repairs, maintenance, body work, washing, or painting vehicles. Nor will there be employees or activities that require the installation of potable water or sewage facilities, and review comments of the Franklin Township engineer should be addressed. And we're just gonna review this with and send it out to Franklin Township.
Need a motion for that?
Yeah.
A motion for the plan to be reviewed.
I'll make the motion.
Also.
All in favor?
I.
Opposed?
Aye.
You,
Okay, next one is the Cobart. Lot annexation, and this has been issue up there for many years. Even the tax assessment parcels were not correctly shown. What they want to do is create lot 1A or lot 1, lot 2A, lot 3, and lot 5. And read my comments. The public municipal water and sewer existing. This road right here, the Hall Road, it doesn't go all the way out though. I think it ends here at this lot. Comes up there, comes up from the estates, it doesn't go all the way up to the code. Lot 1 is a brush and wood covered tract. Let me get the cover scheme here. Lot 1 is a brush and wood covered tract, this whole tract here. It's let's see, steep sloping conditions to the side of the mountain. Dennison Run was also noted in the southern portion of the lot over here. Lot 2A is a brush and wood covered vacant land tract, slight to moderate sloping conditions throughout. Several wetland areas were noted. Nescahoning Creek runs through it. Dennison's run comes down to the center of it. And all these wetlands were made by Kovach Enterprises because of when they put CBS down at the other town, they had to control no wetlands and they had to create wetlands. So this is where DEP said they had to do it. Proposed lot 3 is a brush and wooded covered vacant industrial land tract, modest sloping just throughout. Several wetland areas were noted throughout the tract. Dennison Run was also noted in the western portion of the proposed lot. Broad Run Fourth Hollow was also noted on the eastern through here. And that's it. Northwestern portion of lot 5. This is the side of a mountain, there brush and wooded covered tracts. The proposed lot 5 along existing Hall Road is a vacant land tract with moderate slope conditions throughout. Deep Run Third Hollow was also noted. Where's Deep Run? Up here. Not shown in this plan. Traversing portion of the proposed lot 5. The plan is submitted does not conform to the requirements of Nescahoning Borough Code of Ordinances. It meets all the required minimum lot sizes. However, they're requesting the following waivers. Plan scale, 1 = 100 feet due to the size of the subject property. They provided 1 = 400. Location map, 1 = 2,000. They provided 1 = 4,000 feet. And contours at vertical intervals and not more than 5 feet due to the size of property and varying terrain conditions. They do 10-foot contours. Requesting variances, I don't see any problem with granting those variances. Fourth Hollow Road, Industrial Road, Denison's Road and PA State Route 54 existing streets on or adjacent to or within 500 feet of any part of the track. Right-of-way width and cartway width not shown. And I pointed out they should request a waiver from this due to the size of the maps. It's almost hard to see. And I would recommend plan approval.
Any discussion? Is there a motion for plan approval?
This is
I'll
gonna
make the motion.
take a while to get recorded, only because. Let's see. I can show you that. The tax office, if you're gonna have a field like this.
Is that all wetland?
Those are all the wetlands. And I know they're wetlands because I personally delineated them when they were put in. And DEP, or the Army Corps came down and verified it.
Was there a second?
No. I need a second. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
So was granted.
All right, the next one is the apartments going down there in Franklin Township, lot 2A at Cara Surplus. Saw things in the newspaper that the township supervisors want to condemn that land for eminent domain for their new building.
Yeah, I think they hired a lawyer, I think, last time I saw them. It's a.
Was late.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Anyhow, they want to put 3 buildings, 60 units, 60 high-rise luxury apartments, 5.39 acres. They're calling them upscale apartments. The new 20 by 36 pavilion will also be constructed. Public municipal water and sewer facilities are also proposed along with paid parking areas, which include 90 parking spaces, 6 handicap accessible parking spaces, and 6 electronic vehicle charging spaces. However, if you count up these 19 and 19, you count them all up, it comes to 91. I pointed that out later in my comments. Type of sewer main proposed, there's a gravity main for all these buildings. And then what they're coming in with is a 2-inch forced pump, a gravity pump, grinder pump. I don't think that's big enough. They handle 60 units. No. But. It's located in a vacant land tract, slight to moderate sloping distance route. There's 4 existing sheds on the property and that solar panel out on the side here, which isn't shown on here. The plan is submitted does not conform to preliminary final plan requirements, Franklin Township zoning and land development ordinances and requirements of the Franklin Township zoning. The Franklin Township granted them special exceptions use for the on November 21st, 2024 for the multi-family residential apartments with the condition that maximum of 60 units can be constructed on the site. The plan development site conforms to the minimum 5 acres. The hearing boards, Franklin Township Hearing Board also granted allowing a maximum building height of 40 feet and a maximum building length of 165. And all the proposed signage identifying the apartment complex at the entrance to the site shall comply with the requirements of section 506.2 C1 through 3, signs for multifamily dwellings. I pointed out that Saul, section 332C, the Board of Supervisors should also have the right to apply any reasonable additional standards and requirements necessary to execute the purposes of this development, this ordinance. They have to make a agreement decision on the sewage facility planning module before preliminary plan approval. They're gonna require a highway occupancy permit, and the plan shall be conditioned upon issuance of the permit. Approval of the preliminary land development plan should be conditioned upon approval of the soil erosion control plan. And they're gonna need a NIPSES permit because it's over 1 acre. That's also. And the Board of Supervisors shall not sign a land development plan until all proof is shown the land development plan have been installed by the applicant and have been verified as complete by the township engineer, or a performance guarantee has been provided. Upon completion of all improvements, the applicant should provide to the township plan certified by the applicant's engineer showing all improvements are installed. Failure of the applicant to provide as-built plans shall constitute a violation of the ordinance and shall be subject to all the enforcement proceedings contained in the ordinance. And they cannot occupy the premises until a certificate of conformance has been issued. Surveyor of the plan shall sign the plan in what is made in accordance with the current accepted Pennsylvania practice. Contour labels should be shown on all contours. Existing man-made features, including any easements, deed restrictions, right-of-ways, or other encumbrances upon the land, including location, size, ownership, easements of the previously recorded subdivision for the water lateral, electrical service, and solar array serving lot 1 should be shown in the plan. Connection to the central source system. A letter from the water company stating that the company or authority will supply the development, including a verification of the adequacy not provided. Completed storage facility planning module for the land development and other planning documents not provided. Documentation of the system owner that the service will be provided, and that the applicant has complied with all the system owner requirements. Plan for the ownership and maintenance of all improvements and common areas required, not completed. Street right-of-way width and easements along Ferryland Road and Wagner Street not shown. Clear sight triangle should be shown for all existing street intersections. Location, ownership, and maintenance responsibility of the common facilities and conservation open space not provided. They have to add the following notes in that section 4, and I'm going to read them. Copy of the latest highway occupancy permit not provided. Again, soil erosion control plan. Final drainage stormwater management plans meeting requirements to Franklin Township subdivision land ordinance not provided. Any statement setting forth any zoning variance or subdivision waivers modifications obtained. Developer required to submit as-built plans showing all permanent final improvements to the township. And on the record plan, again, existing or original seals and signatures, no photocopies or stamp pad seals are permitted, and a recorder of deeds won't accept it for recording unless they're original signatures. Developer shall provide to the satisfaction of the Board of Supervisors and prior to final plan approval evidence of the provision for the cession of ownership and responsibility for maintenance and development improvements. They need a developer's agreement. Grade changes to occur at any location of the property should not result in an alteration to soil or drainage conditions which would adversely affect existing vegetation to be retained following site disturbances unless adequate provisions are made to protect such vegetation and through systems. And the tree row along the western boundary line shall be protected from potential damage to fill grading or mechanical damage. Existing topsoil should be protected per the requirements of SOLVS 49D. Minimum of 2 accesses shall be provided for any subdivision and or land development which contains more than 12 lots or dwelling units, and this evidently does not. Street signs shall be approved by the township and installed by the developer at the developer's expense. All lots shall be signed an address. The plan shall indicate the intersection between the access drive and Fairyland Road has a proper site distance. Access drives used for two-way operation shall intersect the street at a 90-degree angle. Curbs are required. Traffic signs are required. The storm monitoring plan should be added to the plan. Again, section 54, storm soil erosion sedimentation controls. Water supply and sewage disposal in the case of utilization of a publicly owned or other existing centralized water or supply and or sewage disposal system. The developer shall submit at the preliminary stage, a letter from the operator of such utility indicating utility's owner's willingness to supply service to the development, including a verification of the adequacy of the utility system to service the proposed development. At the final approval stage, an executed agreement with the service supplier shall be submitted. They have to do pressure testings of all collection conveyance of any centralized water supply or centralized storage system. And it shall be conducted in accord with the procedures specified by the township. And if a centralized sewage disposal system is proposed and there's an existing public sewage disposal system, said development shall connect to such systems in accordance with the requirements of DEP. Off-street parking spaces shall be provided and maintained for each dwelling unit. Two dwelling units, two per dwelling unit located within the unit plus 0.25 space per dwelling unit. And when you round it out, it comes up to 135 required spaces required. And they're only providing 91. All buildings shall be accessible to emergency vehicles and shall meet applicable requirements. And proposed parking areas of 30 feet or more spaces shall include details for adequate snow storage and removal. The landscape requirements they're many, put it that way. And stormwater basins shall be buffered with landscaping. Landscaping should be required in and around all stormwater demanded facilities. They got to comply with the uses of the plants that's located in the septic plants at 59H. And there's two plants that they're proposing. The engineer recommends that the Pyrrhus Caloriana is not on the acceptable plant list because the trees blossom are also foul smelling. And the Pricanthia is also not on the acceptable plant because the plants have thorns and berries that could be noxious to humans and pets. And will require a suitable substitution. Need a performance guarantee, the lighting and glare. The note and A61E 7A through D should be added to the plan. The developer shall identify and provide an adequate and reliable water source for firefighting purposes. Revisions for adequate and reliable water sources shall be submitted as part of the application. Such plans and installation shall be inspected by the Franklin Township for compliance with this ordinance, and the fire chief should review the plan. And the applicant should verify whether or not each apartment is to have a sprinklerless fire water system. Fire lanes shall be provided for all buildings which are set back more than 150 feet from the fire apparatus access road. For buildings which exceed 30 feet in height and are set back more than 50 feet from the road. That'll be reviewed by the Franklin Township Fire Chief. Safe and convenient areas for appropriate services, including but not limited to U.S. Postal Service and school bus pickup and drop off must be provided. And the recreation fee, I think it's $500 per lot in lieu of providing a recreation in the area there. General comments, plan provides a 2-inch diameter, low pressure main with grinder pump. They didn't provide any details or specifications on the detail sheets. And it should be shown. Engineer certification and benchmark table on plan sheet 1D should be completed. General project note 16 on sheet LD2 regarding soil should be revised from Luzerne County to Garvey County. And there's a random curve shown on sheets LD4 and LD5 that should be taken off. And again, I recommend just submitting this The planning commission reviewing the above land development believes we found several areas of non-compliance with the requirements of the Franklin Township Land Development Ordinances. That precludes any recommendation for approval of this land development at this time as submitted for review. And again, we are providing the above comments to Franklin Township for review with the applicant, engineers and supervisors. So this is just for the review.
Well, good job, Ira.
I worked with the engineers for this.
I'll take on that. There are motions for review without any approval. So, obey it.
All right.
If I can, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You approve.
Next is the technical documentation reviews. Well, the intergovernmental review is the National Dam Safety Program, 153,000 change in the fiscal year 2022-28 air pollution control grant. There's 16,051,000 and change. We just had just to review them and provide them a letter. The land development, the PA Solar Park out in Franklin Township. They submitted that for a land development chapter 102 permit for their sewage or stormwater discharge. Land development plan, tractor supply, they submitted a 102 stormwater discharge plan for review. The planning review of the Banks Township, lot 5 in the industrial park, they want to clear the whole lot and then make it a meadow. So no problem with that. And Mahoning Manor Estates water system improvements, what is existing there now. They're gonna put a 1.6 million new water system in for the whole project. That's it.
And then on my end, we got a request from Jim Thorpe for support for multimodal transportation fund grant. For the High Street Wall stabilization project that they're doing.
Comments from the board, or no visitors?
He left.
You left long.
Yeah.
You're
Get it
fine.
needed.
I'm scared.
You said he was going for a trip.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be easy up there.
There a motion for adjournment?
I'll make the motion.
No, just